Hello and welcome to another Coptrz video on the Elios 3 UT. My name is George Byrne and I am the project champion for the Elios here in the UK. Today I'm bringing to you a really exciting bit of technology. Today we're going to be looking at the Elios 3 and the UT attachment. This is a brand new product which is still in its infancy. It's only been on the market for under 12 months now. So it's a really exciting prospect for all NDT inspection companies around the world. We've already had significant success in the oil and gas and the asset integrity world. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. This is the Elios 3, as many people watching this video will already be accustomed to. We have got the LiDAR payload on the back, so I'll just spin that around. This is the Rev 7 that we've got on here. It's the survey grade payload, and that also means that we've got an extra port, an extra auxiliary port at the back, and that is exactly where the power will come into for the UT probe arm. Once it goes into this system, it works in tandem with the LiDAR and visual to give you a really good perspective of all of your assets when you're doing an inspection. So let's get into it. So first step, what we'll go into straight away is attaching the probe device to the Elios 3, which we see here. We have currently the Elios 3 system with the survey grade payload, so the Rev 7, which pushes out over 1 million points per second. 100 meters of range, so when you are doing these more complex environments, taking the UT data, you can really utilize all of the data to one with it working in tandem. With the utilization of the LiDAR, you actually have an extra auxiliary port at the back, which is where it powers through the UT probe arm and also the smart couplant dispenser. So without further ado, opening the box, the system, the UT element, comes in this really great carry case, all marked out with where things are supposed to go. We'll start with the couplant itself, essentially a lubricant to allow for the syringe, which we have here, to attach to the top of the drone. And what that will do, via a button on the controller, it'll push through that lubricant to the face of the UT arm, which will give essentially a liquid at the front of the probe arm, which will take away all of the dust and the air bubbles between the actual surface of the microphone and the surface of the asset, making sure that you've got more detailed and accurate responses to that data. Hopefully you can see this. If you can't, that's absolutely fine, because we're about to take everything out, starting with the main component. Now this is a part of the equipment which I may need to stand up to install. So if you can't see me, good for you. If you can, fantastic. So this is a system that just clips onto the top of the drone. What I'll do is I will just feed that back through to the back end of the sensor and the drone itself, which will allow it to power. From there are 4 clips, and if you can hear that, it's clicked on now perfectly. With this one, I like to start by weaving it through, so when you do have it on and operational, you're not having the actual cable or the wiring or the tube wailing around in the air. This just gives for more accurate and a bit of peace of mind when you're flying. So what I'll do is I'll leave that hanging there. So what I'll do now, if you can still see me, I'll turn the drone around and just explain. So with all UT probes, you've got the actual cable that comes through the back of the drone that goes into the auxiliary port, which we see at the back of the drone here. Make sure that it is lined up. And now we are all attached. And when you arm the drone and turn it on, what you will see on the actual drone itself is the system updating to feed back through all of the information that you are capturing from the UT probe. So I'll just attach this, and I will make sure that the actual arm itself is going to the right hand side, because that is the place that we are going to, actually I'll put it to the left hand side so you can see it with the camera a little bit easier. So the other benefit of the Elios 3 UT is you get 3 probe arms. You get 7.5 megahertz, a 5, and a 2. This just gives you a bit more versatility when you're inspecting different thicknesses of metal. The 5 is what we're going to put on today because that's more the general use. So next step is actually attaching the probe arm. So what I'm going to do, I'm I'm going to take one of these probes out. As you can see, we don't have the probe head attached at the time. That comes down to the different assets that you're going to be inspecting. So what you can actually see here is you get multiple different probe heads which allow for different surfaces. This one specifically, we have 3 magnetic prongs on top of the probe face. This allows you to stick to flat surfaces better, whereas we have a 2-prong approach with this one. This will allow you to attach to smaller pipes, because if you can imagine that you're attaching to a thin pipe, you want something that's going to attach and get you the best data possible. Whereas if you have it on a 3 probe head, you may find that it will rock back and forward and won't attach all 3 magnetic interfaces. So with that, I'm going to take the probe arm. I'm going to attach that to the front of the mechanism at the front, the roll bar that you see here. That just allows for greater stability. So that is now attached on there. We're going to attach the probe head arm, which goes on this side here. So I'll just take this one off, which we were doing for a previous demonstration, and attach that to here. The great thing about the probe arm, the long black attachment that we have here, is it can be done at different orientations. So you can have it on the top facing directly upwards, or you can even have it on the bottom. So if we put it to the top, this will allow for inspections or points to be captured on the top surface. So if you go into an asset, say a tank, and you want to get the top side of the tank, you can capture that very easily. So as I've prepared earlier, we actually have one of the probe heads attached, ready to go. So with a little bit of click into place, click, and away you go. Now, what we see here is the probe head attached with the couplant cable, allowing us to then attach into the smart couplant device. So we'll just wrap that around quickly and then attach finally. You want to make sure this is secure, and just with a click, bang, away you go. Now we've got full attachment set up and sorted. We then take a syringe, quickly post that into the small locking arm mechanism that we have. And as mentioned earlier, when you're actually controlling the drone with the handset, with the RC controller, you have the ability to press a button on the controller, which then disperses that couplant through the cable and to the designated area. And that is it. Away you go and ready to record your points. So to recap on the full system setup of the Elios 3 UT, you've got the main pump, which is then integrated into the back of the Elios 3, allowing you to capture those points, integrate them with the data set that you're capturing using the LiDAR and the visual 4K sensor at the front, allowing you to take detailed, precision accurate points and then put them onto a 3D world. You've then got the cable that comes through to the arm, which, as I said before, can then be altered and changed and put into any variation that you like. So let's just put it forward. And then from there, you've got also the laser pointer at the front of the drone, which is a fantastic element to have when you're flying in a confined space. You're not always going to see the drone going into these assets because it's confined space. That is the nature of the equipment. We're eliminating dangerous work in dangerous areas. And we're doing that by using an internal drone with a fantastic setup. The laser range pointer, you will see a point when you're flying with the visual from visual feed back to your controller, and that will allow you to get a really, really precise contact with whatever you're looking at. And because you've got 180 degrees of orientation with the camera, that doesn't matter if the orientation of the arm is on the top, on the bottom, or facing up. You're always going to see where you're going. So finally, without further ado, we're going to do a couple of demos. We're going to post some of the data that we've captured and show you it live in action. But for setup, that is essentially it. It takes probably 15 to 20 minutes to take a standard Elios 3, attaching all of the cable ties and the clip-on sections and even the landing bay for the motor. And then The length of this video, I mean, probably less than that, about 5 minutes to actually attach all of the parts, and away you go. It's really that simple. And we are really excited to bring this to market in the UK, as we've had great success so far here in the UK, the US, and all across the world. So if you have any further questions, if you're looking to see the equipment in action in one of your assets, please get in touch, because this system is not only going to save time and money in the long haul, but it's also going to increase your safety on site for your team members. And if we can do anything in this world, mitigating risk and mitigating any sort of loss of life is 100% key for us. And I know that it is for Flyability as well. So with that final remark, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate your time. Hit the like, subscribe to our YouTube as well, and hopefully we'll hear from you in the future. Thanks very much.